Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Okay, so let's just dive right into this, because today we're tackling something that might seem incredibly small, just a little curve on the page, but it actually has the power to completely change the meaning of your words. We're looking at the essential guide to comma rules and usage. And listen, mastering this tiny punctuation mark, it isn't just about passing a grammar test or making your teacher happy. Honestly, proper punctuation can literally save lives. Okay, this right here brilliantly illustrates exactly what I mean. Think about the sentence, "Let's eat grandma." Without a comma, it sounds like we're planning to serve up our beloved grandma for dinner. It completely turns a friendly phrase into this weird cannibalistic threat. But if you just drop in that single missing mark, it entirely changes the scenario. Suddenly, it's just a friendly dinner invitation. Let's eat grandma. One small comma makes a massive difference, right?
So, what actually is this powerful little tool? By definition, a comma is a punctuation mark that helps readers pause and understand the true meaning of a sentence. Think of it like a really helpful traffic cop for your reader's brain. Take the sentence, "After school, I went home." That little comma creates a vital, short pause. It breaks the text up into digestible chunks and just makes the whole thing so much easier to process. Now that we know what it does, let's open up our grammar toolkit and learn the absolute most important rules.
All right, opening up the toolkit. Rule number 1, use commas in a list.
So, the crucial point here is this. Whenever you have 3 or more items in a list, you've got to separate them with commas. For example, I bought apples, bananas, oranges, and grapes. The commas act as clear visual dividers. They make sure your fruits don't just blur together into one giant confusing word smoothie. And hey, it's not just for physical objects either. It works perfectly for actions too. If you're describing someone's hobbies, you'd say, she enjoys reading, writing, and painting, using commas to neatly separate every distinct activity.
Let's make this a bit interactive. I'm going to pause for a second and challenge you to mentally punctuate this sentence. I packed clothes, shoes, books, and snacks. Right now, it is a total traffic jam. Where do the commas belong to make this readable?
And boom, here's the fix. I packed clothes, shoes, books, and snacks. Do you see how those commas just beautifully organize that packing list? They give the sentence this really natural breathing rhythm. If you place them right after clothes, shoes, and books, you absolutely nailed it.
Moving right along to Rule 2, introductory words and phrases.
So the rule here states that when a sentence begins with a word or a phrase that introduces the main idea, you need to drop a comma right after it. Let's walk through these. First, let's review yesterday's lesson. Or, in the morning, I go for a walk. Notice how the comma effectively signals the transition? It's basically telling the reader, okay, the setup is over, now here comes the core action. This applies to time frames too, like after lunch, we played football, or before the test, everyone was nervous.
All right, time to hit you with another micro challenge to apply this introductory phrase rule right now. Take this sentence. After the meeting, we went home. Just read it in your head. It feels a little rushed, doesn't it? Where exactly should the comma go to fix that?
And here is the fix. After the meeting, we went home. By emphasizing that necessary pause right after the word meeting, we clearly separate the introductory time phrase from the main action. It's a tiny little tweak, but it elevates your writing instantly.
Okay, Rule 3. This is a fun one. The fanboys method.
Let's spell out this incredible acronym. Fanboys stands for and, nor, but, or, yet, so. These are our connecting words. The rule here is that when you're joining two complete, independent sentences, meaning each side could totally stand alone as its own complete thought, you must use a comma before the fanboy's word. For example, I wanted to go outside, but it started raining. Because I wanted to go outside and it started raining are both full thoughts. We drop a comma right before the but to connect them properly. Or here's another one. She studied hard, so she passed the exam.
Let's test your grasp of the fanboys rule with a quick practice sentence to keep our momentum going. Ali was tired, but he finished his homework. We've got 2 complete thoughts and our connecting word, but. Mentally drop the comma in right now. Spot on. The correct placement is right before the but. Ali was tired, but he finished his homework. It just perfectly connects the 2 clauses while giving your reader a nice visual cue that a new, connected thought is starting up.
All right, on to Rule 4, direct address.
Now this rule is simple, but it is absolutely critical, and it is exactly what saved Grandma from being eaten earlier. When speaking directly to a person, use commas around their name. Sarah, please open the window. Or, thank you, Mom. You can even use it in the middle or end of a sentence, like, "Can you help me, Ahmed?" Pointing out the name and isolating it with commas ensures crystal clear communication. It leaves zero doubt about who you are actually talking to.
And our final tool for the kit, Rule 5, extra information. Sometimes a sentence includes extra information that you can actually completely remove without changing the main meaning. When you have this, you place commas around that extra info, kind of giving it a hug. I highly recommend using this step-by-step removal test. Step 1, read the full sentence. My sister, who lives in Abu Dhabi, is a doctor. Step 2, mentally remove the extra info trapped between those commas. Step 3, check the remaining sentence. My sister is a doctor. Does the sentence still make complete sense? Yes! Because it still works, you know your comma placement was totally correct. It is pretty much a foolproof trick.
All right, you've got the tools. It is time for the quick comma quiz.
We're gonna rapid fire these, so I urge you to solve them mentally as soon as I say them. Question 1. First, let's check the answers. Where does the comma go? Now question 2. I bought pens, pencils, and rulers. Think back to our very first rule. Let's knock out the final 2 quiz questions really quick to keep the energy high. Question 3. Thank you, Sarah. How do we punctuate this direct address? And finally, question 4. After dinner, we watched a movie. Where is the necessary pause there? Lock in those final answers.
Okay, moment of truth. Let's resolve the tension. Here are all the correct answers. Number 1, first let's check requires a comma after the introductory word. Number 2, we need commas separating our list of pens, pencils, and rulers. Number 3, thank you, Sarah uses the direct address comma to speak directly to her. And number 4, after dinner, we watched a movie needs a comma after that introductory phrase. Definitely celebrate if you got those right. You have officially mastered identifying these common mistakes.
Before we go, let's just do a super clean, concise wrap-up of the 5 essential rules so you have one final, perfectly organized takeaway from this explainer. Rule 1, use commas in a list of 3 or more. Rule 2, use them after introductory words and phrases. Rule 3, use them before fanboys when joining complete sentences. Rule 4, use them for direct address. And Rule 5, use commas to hug extra, non-essential information. Just keep this mental list handy whenever you write. Commas may be small, but they make writing clear and meaningful. They truly are the unsung heroes of communication. So I want to leave you with this final thought and question. Which of these 5 comma rules have you been getting wrong your entire life? Head down to the comments right now and let me know. And hey, try to use a perfect introductory phrase when you do. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Stay curious, and as always, keep learning.